you have any regrets, like, becoming a Twitch streamer?
Me?
Yeah, like, would you rather have pursued, like, some sort of different career, or are you, like, really happy at the career that you landed at?
No, this is like a literal dream job. I get to scream at people online. Like, I have like 4 or 5 like huge interests in life. It's like music, which I get to do on stream in cool ways. Philosophy and politics, which I get to do on stream in cool ways. Video games, which I get to do on stream in cool ways. And then combing, which I can't do on stream. But the other 3 are like super hit up by this. It's like literally like a dream job that I could do like all of my hobbies that I feel like the most passionate about. Like, and I get to get paid for it all. It's like a literal dream job.
So you don't miss cleaning carpets as an alternative?
This is one of the reasons why I'm very sympathetic to people that are in fucked up life situations, because it's possible that I would have either killed myself, probably not, hopefully not, or like still been carpet cleaning or something. Like up until I started streaming, I was literally like a no-name person doing carpet cleaning, like losing his house, like falling behind on all of his bills, not touching his student loans, obviously, like in the process of having a child, working a dead-end job that I could not ever be promoted into. Like, it was a really fucked up thing. So like if I hadn't stumbled onto streaming, I mean, you like to think, right? Oh, well, if you're intelligent, you'll find anything. Like maybe I would have stumbled onto some other type of work. I guess it's possible, but like I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe I would have never found that other thing, and I would just be, you know, working 80, 90 hours a week, 7 days a week with every other Sunday off, like doing like horrible fucking work. Like, I don't know. I thought he was too narcissistic to kill himself. I think I am. I'm very narcissistic. I definitely didn't do it in large part because of that, but I'm not sure how much I could have taken in that scenario. The problem is that my life went so bad in a very short span of time, and like it was hard to drive around in Omaha, like going all over the place, like visiting houses and shit, and looking at everybody living their lives and seeing places that I had been going to like a year or 2 earlier, you know, like happily with either a girlfriend or my wife or whatever, and then like seeing that I was literally carpet cleaning now, like not making any money, with no fucking future, with no education, right? Like 35, 36 or whatever ACT score, flunked out of fucking college, like went to college almost as a sophomore because of the number of AP and dual enrollment credits, and then not even having a bachelor's degree. Like everything in my life had went to shit, like very far into shit in a very short period of time. I don't know how much longer I could have handled living in that kind of manner. I'm not really sure, dude. It was pretty bad.
The only thing I can think of that could be better would be like something more niche that would provide more like artistic fulfillments, like being a professional musician or like a composer or like player or whatever. Maybe I would feel better about that, but like the struggle and everything for that is going to be way more hardcore than what I do now.
It's not too late, buddy. Chase your dreams.
I've thought about pursuing streaming, but it just feels scary.
In what ways?
Maybe like job security, or
Yeah, that's
maybe
pretty
because it's
spooky.
just, yeah, it's not as maybe just because I didn't see it as like a career option for a very long time, or maybe it's because of like internalized stigmas of like going into like the arts or like the entertainment fields.
Who's fuck that, dude. Fuck, don't let other people stigmatize you out of your fucking shit. Fuck those.
Because if I'm like, yeah, I gave up becoming like a lawyer to like become a Twitch streamer, I think that people
Dude,
get,
if I could give up being a lawyer to become a Twitch streamer, I would fucking do that.
Not to mention, don't run other people's rat races. Like, other people are gonna judge you for shit that you do all the time, but at the end of the day, like, you live with yourself. Like, nobody. This was the approach. A lot of Twitch streamers get like really crazy about like who they date or whatever because of like how it affects their stream. My approach to all of that has always been like, at the end of the day, like, I live with who I date. I don't give a fuck what anybody on my stream thinks. Like, I've dated girls that like my streamers fucking hate it for. I don't give a fuck what their opinions are. Same thing. Like, people are gonna judge you for your career choices or shit you do all the fucking time, but who cares? They don't have to live with those choices like you do. There is not a single person who's reached the end of their life who's sitting on their deathbed thinking like, you know what? I'm really glad that I gave into pressure and I let other people dictate what I did for my life. That was a good decision. Nobody's ever thought that in their entire life. It's always the opposite. Like, oh, I'm pretty sure, there was a really good poll or an article. Wish I could have read this, but I'm pretty sure like the #1 complaint on a deathbed that like nurses and everything here is always that like, man, there was some risk that I didn't take. I wish I could have seen how that would have turned out. And then also, if you think back in your life, generally, unless it's like fucking heroin, like I don't think very many people remember like, oh, I took this risk and I wish I wouldn't have. That's like so rare that like you'll hear somebody say that. Like there are things that you try and sometimes they don't work out, but usually it's better to try to know than to just like always have that mystery. Like,
yeah, like if my uncovered calls had gone live, I would have been rich as fuck.
shut the fuck up.
I've thought about like if I'm going to take time off off of school anyways, I could just move out for a year and like try full-time streaming. I've streamed before and I'm was making enough per month where I was like somehow out earning my sister, and she works in real estate. And that happened really quickly. But then my mental health got bad, and then I couldn't do it. But now my mental health's getting better, so I could try again. But
The
I don't
only
know. I feel like that's such
scary
a weird.
thing about the only scary thing about God damn it! Can I not use the ground? Or did I fucking sorry? The only scary thing for you is the mental health stuff, because streaming, when you take big breaks, well, you'll completely fucked. You're completely and totally fucked if you do that.
Yeah.
So that's the only scary part.
I'm hoping. I guess I'll only see in the long term, right? But I'm hoping that being on Zoloft will stabilize my mood. I mean, that's what it is. It's a mood stabilizer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Keep in
This is-
mind, and obviously, if I'm ever condescending to somebody, shut the fuck up. But like, I'm sure you've heard this from like your mental health people too. Like, SSRIs and stuff like that. These are tools, not solutions. So like, the goal is once your mood is boosted, like that's when you can begin to work on yourself. Like the reason why we take these drugs isn't to make us happy. It's to put us in a state of mind where we can like pursue happiness in a healthy way. Because it's really, really hard to do that when you're like mentally fucked on whatever your brain is doing to yourself, right?
Exactly. Like it can feel impossible to exercise when you're super depressed, and so getting on an SSRI might give you the energy that you can go and start exercising, which will then it's like a launch pad. It's
Yeah,
not
for
supposed
sure.
to be a crutch. Yeah. I agree. And I've been going to therapy for a long time, so I think that I've got that part down. I think that like doing like physical exercise and actually making friends in person is like a huge thing. I feel like I've been socially isolated for like 21 years, and I'm like finally starting to break out of my shell in the middle of a goddamn global pandemic.
Right.
I could squish something. But I feel like if I get those things in order, I could potentially like turn around my life, and like I've been starting to feel happy for the first time in a long time, and like maybe I can try and I don't know. I don't know if it would be worth it. I've considered it. I can pay like a full year of rent up front and like just move out and try to stream, but that's like a really big investment. If I would only move out and live on my own if I was going to stream full time.
Sure.
Like, do I just do it? I don't know.
I mean, it's easier to try it now than it is when you're 50 or something, or if you have kids or whatever, right? So, I mean, there's no harm in trying.
You also don't have to do like the full Mooden. Like you can just try it out.
Sure. Oh, yeah, true. Wooten was fine. He was safe to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he crunched some numbers and he was alright.
Sure. Well, and even if it fails, like, as long as you have,
74.
like, parents that you're, like, okay living with for a while, like, you've got that to fall back on, too. Like, fuck it. If you fail, like, you're in a really good spot. You're so lucky because if you fail, your worst-case scenario, you're already living it. Like, so if you go out and try something that doesn't work.
That's a good point.
Sure, yeah. If you go out and try something that doesn't work, like, you're just back at where you started. Like, nothing gained, nothing lost.
I guess like money lost, but then I'm
Yeah, but who cares? It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about the other day? I still carry this mindset with me. I don't know if this is just an autism thing or just in the dumb ways that I think about like money and shit, or if this is just like a from being poor thing. One of the things that I always thought, and one of the reasons why like I save my money so much is because I always thought that like success means that you die before you run out of money. It's always been like, I remember a long time ago, that was one of my concerns in life. I always get worried, like, fuck, what if I run out of money before I die? Like, I either can't work, I'm not making enough money or whatever. Like, that's like a worry that I had. So, you know what? As long as I still have income and I can pay all my bills and I'm not running out of money, that's good. Money is a means to two things. Survival, which you already have covered because your parents don't sound like the kind of people that would let you be homeless and die. Or they're a means to happiness. So, and if you're not happy where you are now, like, you might as well, right?
You're making me feel impulsive.
Well, you can't impulsively buy a place, but...
Well, not in that way. Like, what's the word for wanting to do something? I don't know. I feel like it's impulsive.
Motivated?
Motivated.
Motivated.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like I could probably do it. But then I feel like people would judge me, but then I guess I shouldn't care. You have nothing to lose? Well, theoretically, I have money to lose, but as Steven said, it's like either supposed to be means for survival or like happiness, so I guess that shouldn't matter as much. And then also like, if I was going to move out, I'd probably have to sign a year lease. And I'm only really planning on taking one semester off school.
You don't have to sign a year lease. You can sign less. That'll be more expensive, but again, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah, I was planning on moving out in March, but then my mental health got super bad. But I already like raised enough money to pay for me moving out. Yeah. And now that it's getting better, I'm considering.
Can you do career advice for viewers? No, what the fuck?
Have you been able to cry on your exercise? Yes. I cry multiple times a day, but not because I'm sad. It's pretty lame. I feel happiness, and then I just start crying because I'm really happy that I'm feeling happy. And I haven't felt happy for a long time. I feel like crying right now. Yeah. I'll like watch a happy video and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling happy. And then I'll just start crying.
Nice.
But it feels really good.
Fuck
Do
it.
you know what I feel like I need?
To go to
I need someone to shake me and be like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I don't realize how privileged I am to even have like streaming as like a career option, and how like probably terrible like 80-hour work weeks in like law or like psychology would be. I feel like someone needs to shake me and be like, you're stupid. Why aren't you doing this?
That's kind of true.
Slap me around a little.
The problem is that humans like absolutely totally don't process things that way, and it's actually never ever gonna make you feel better thinking about things in that way. Humans acclimate to almost everything instantly. Like I think it's like fuck, dude, I should keep some of these offhand, some of these studies or whatever, but like I'm pretty sure like even people that are homeless or people that lose limbs and shit, they'll acclimate to their new level of whatever like pretty quickly. Comparing yourself to somebody that's just completely in a totally different life place than you will never ever make you feel happy ever. That's just not how humans process things that way. It's always relative to, you know, where we were yesterday, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like sometimes you have like realizations that like stick with you, right? Like I don't know, sometimes like you see something or like you have a talk with someone and then like it makes you realize something and something really clicks and then your behavior kind of changes, right?
I think those realizations are always very fleeting and very temporary. That's what fleeting means. Like you're never gonna get like any kind of lasting happiness or like anything like that off of realizing like, wow, some people have really shit lives. Makes me feel better about myself. Like I just don't think it just doesn't. I just don't think humans process things that way. Otherwise, like you could literally wake up every day and be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not starving to death like in Africa. Oh God, that's awesome. Like that's just not going to do anything for most people, unfortunately, just because of the way we acclimate to our surroundings. The best example I can think of this, I might have even said this to you personally before. The best example I can always think of this is that like when you're sick, the only thing that you can think of is like breathing through your nose, because like it sucks being stuffy all the fucking time. And the day after you're sick is the best day in the world, where you can just breathe through your nose and not have to breathe through your mouth. But then like the next day that's gone. You totally take it for granted again. You like stop caring about it.
Oh man, the day after you don't have a sore throat after you've been sick.
Oh yeah, and you can swallow and
man.
eat and all of it is like, oh, so good or whatever. Yeah. But then you immediately like don't give a fuck about it anymore. It's like, okay, well, done with that.
That sucks.
Yeah, it would be cool if we could just compare ourselves to people worse off than us and just feel better about ourselves. But
I think that like something in therapy that at least my therapist helps me do with like helping my depression is we like go through things or make lists of things that we're grateful for, and like every day I try and like take a moment and like list some things that I'm grateful for in my mind. So like having like a fully functioning body, like having my sight, my hearing, having food, all of that kind of stuff that you usually take for granted. And in that moment when I think about it, I'm like, wow, there are some people that actually literally don't have this. But then everything else that I don't know, there's so many things.
yeah, the thing is just like you can go through so many things like
Yeah.
that, but I don't know. I think
You
that's
just don't remember it. It doesn't like
well, yeah, because unless you lose it, you're not gonna like be thinking about not having it. The thing that sucks about that sometimes is that at the end of that, this is especially true of depression, because a lot of these mental things, the thing that sucks about, like, if you're depressed for a reason, that's not a problem. Like if your dog died or somebody died or whatever, or like you failed a class or whatever, like that's great. You have a reason why you're depressed, because the nice thing about that is that once that reason is alleviated, well, now you're no longer depressed. Like you're good. Like, okay, well, I'm depressed because of this. I get rid of the underlying reason and now I'm done. Boom. But like when you are like clinically depressed, or if you've got some fucked up shit with your brain going on, like it feels like sometimes like keeping track of your blessings can just make you feel even shittier at the end, because it's like, I really don't have any reason to feel this way. Like, fuck, I'm so stupid. What's right? And it's like, well, fuck, like it doesn't. But keep in mind that everything I say is like, things can be tailored personally to different people. So like if it does work for you, or if it's effective for you, then that's good. Obviously you should continue doing that. Don't take anything I say for granted. But it would seem to me that like for a lot of people, like I don't think you're gonna find very much long-term comfort in counting your blessings, because you live with your blessings every day. You know that they're there. There's something different that has to happen to kind of like jar you into feeling better about things.
For me, like the gratitude list did make me feel better. It didn't cure my depression, but I think it's because I came to accept that whatever is causing my depression is probably like a neurochemical imbalance. I've tried pretty much every environmental intervention that I can think of besides like psychedelics,
Well,
which I don't think would
that's
be safe.
pharmacological. What is the one layer? Pharmacological.
What do you mean?
That would be a drug. That's not environmental, right?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
There's a
Yeah,
word I'm looking for. Is it pharmacological? I think. Yeah, sorry. Or pharmaceutical. Sorry, fuck. I'm thinking of pharmacology is a study of pharmaceutical as a drug. My bad. But yeah, I know what you mean. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like I've tried most things and I was still depressed. So it's probably just like some imbalance in my brain. And that makes it so that I don't feel guilty. Like, oh, well, everything's good. That doesn't really make me feel more guilty. Being able to understand that I have blessings because I've just kind of accepted, like, yeah, I know that it's not because like I'm ungrateful. It's just because my brain's broke.
Do you subscribe to the theory that having a simpler life leads to better mental health? It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. The thing I always go to is the fact that like, it feels like we're very far removed from whatever our lives were supposed to be. What do you mean by supposed to be? When I say supposed to be, I'm sorry, I just mean like our bodies probably evolved to work in certain environments, or like rather we're pretty far removed from our natural environment. My guess is that the closer you get back to that original environment, the more likely your mind is to work in a healthy manner. That would be my guess. I don't actually know that. That would just be like a educated guess I would make. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed. Do you know why girls go to Jupiter?
Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go
Wrong.
to college to get more knowledge.
What the fuck?